Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of New to Weeaboo. This is number 56 for September 22nd, 2021. I'm Nemesis and I'm joined by Alcatraz.
Hello.
As of this episode's release, it is now fall.
Oh boy. Fall.
Yep. Summer is technically over.
I need to do an oil change.
Yeah. Means a lot of summer animes should be wrapping up now.
Yeah.
So a lot of it, not all of it. Like, for example, Love Live Superstar has only got aired 7 episodes because of multiple delays. But I know like Next Life as a Villainess has finished airing. And they announced a movie.
Yeah. I haven't been able to keep up with that one.
Yeah, there's that.
I know you have, though.
Yeah, I did. I have been. Still came out with Dragon Maid as well, although, yeah, it's Dragon Maid, so, part and parcel.
Part and parcel.
Something I saw, which is Love Live Superstar got its first Figma announced.
Oh boy.
Yep. Canon.
Getting Figmas now.
Yep.
Surprised it's only now getting Figmas with how big Love Live is.
Superstar.
The
new
so just
one.
Superstar? Okay.
Yeah. Nichijou has not gotten any Figmas or Nendos, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Got Pop-Up Parade, but no posable figures. I don't know why.
Interesting.
Well, apparently there's a leak that shows that some of the game characters are coming to the second season of that anime, so there's that. Whoops. Merchandise leak.
Oops. Yeah. I finally ordered some Pop-Up Parade stuff.
Yeah.
Pre-ordered. It won't show up for a little while, but...
Yeah, I ordered the Figma for Love Live.
Of course you did. Aren't you legally obligated at this point?
Not necessarily. For example, I only have 4 of the other Figmas because I'm not going to buy 18 of them.
Just
they're expensive.
Just do it.
No.
Just go into
it. Yeah, so I bought
that.
Canon there. She's the main character, so of course she gets the first one. Of course, I went through Good Smile because, look, they have the exclusive hand-holding part.
Oh,
I paid $20 extra for hand-holding part.
Jeez.
Because they were, I could get for $50 here at Amazon Japan, or I could pay $70 here on Good Smile and get the hand-holding part. So anyway, I spent $70 on getting a hand-holding part.
Because of course.
I'm really bet they all come with hand-holding parts. When all 5 of them come out, you can have them, do the whole, see you're singing together, that whole thing. Or you can ship, because they know shipping is a big thing. They know this.
Don't forget that. That's a huge money market there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's anime stuff. I was just kind of popped off the top of my head. So we're actually here to talk about Nichijou though. Nichijou. Okay, my ordinary life, or as you watch it though, you'll find out it's not that ordinary.
it's a bit different.
There's a bit of an irony to the name. Yeah, this actually aired 10 years ago over the course of 2011 from April to September.
Hey.
In fact, its final episode aired on September 25th. So we're pretty close actually. Except, it's episode 0 aired in March of that year, but still.
Yeah, well, we're 1 week off from the anniversary of its end.
Not 1 week, like literally 3 days.
Yeah.
But yeah, it came out back in 2011. It's a 26 episode anime, and it's a slice of life. It's a kind of a comedy as well, a very surreal comedy.
Yeah.
And its main characters are Yuko Aoi. She's brown-haired, kind of dumb. Doesn't have the greatest attention span.
Yep.
Easily tricked.
Gets
flustered when trying to order coffee. You got Miu Naganohara. She's got blue hairs, little weird cubes for her pigtails to tie them up. Draws manga.
Manga.
It is manga.
It technically, yes.
No, not technically. It is manga. It's just a very specific genre.
Yes.
Of the boys love variety.
Yeah,
she does that. Also has to put up with Yuko's nonsense. Sometimes he gets very frustrated about that.
Yep.
There's Mai Minakami, who is very quiet, tends to read a lot, carves Buddha statues out of wood.
Yep.
Likes to pull pranks on Yuko and mess with her. A lot. Also has dogs. Then you got Nano Shinonome, who's a robot. But don't tell anyone that.
Yep.
She likes to pretend she wants to be a real girl as much as possible, not a robot. Ignore the key in her back.
Ignore the giant key in her back.
And she's created by the Professor Hakase. Actually, I think Hakase is just Professor. Yeah, the little girl, about 8 years old.
Yep.
Created by her. They live together, and yeah, more or less Nano has to take care of Hakase, even though, yeah, it's a whole weird thing. And then you got Sakamoto, the cat. He can talk because of a bandana.
Yep. Like I say, made a bandana that lets him talk.
Yep. You got a bunch of other characters, but those are the core.
Yeah.
Because this is a slice of life anime, comedy elements, and it's structured as with like a bunch of skits. They're sometimes connected, sometimes not, but there's a bunch of skits per episode. So you got like maybe 3 to 5-ish skits or so, more for per episode. There's where this weird stuff happens.
Yeah. A bunch of very, very loosely connected things.
There is a loose story of sorts, but it's really there's no real overarching thing per se, other than it's just a bunch of high school girls going through their high school years with weird stuff happening around them.
Yeah. And they tend to be chronological in order too.
Oh, look, well, how much of that weird stuff is actually happening is kind of up for debate because of what you see.
Right. How much of this is just a visual gag? And yeah.
For example, one of the earliest ones was Nano is running on the street. She trips into someone, and then an explosion happens. And this explosion causes things to rain down on Yuko's head, and also traps Nano on the roof of a house. So the explosion clearly happened, yet somehow no one is injured.
Yeah. Yeah. Stuff like that.
Or the tsundere girl who constantly pulls out guns and shoots the boy she has a crush on when he's acting like a doofus. And yet
yes.
he just gets a little, dusty.
Misato.
Yeah. And there's, of course, the teacher who's always nervous, Sakurai.
That's Izumi Sakurai.
Yeah, Sakurai.
Yep.
Sakurai sensei. Yeah, she's very easily flustered and constantly nervous. And
yep, she's not very confident, which is difficult because she's the like the guidance counselor, and it's the one who's supposed to help straighten up the students.
Yep.
But she can never really stand up.
There's another teacher, Takasaki Sensei, who has a crush on her.
Yep.
And of course, he's also an awkward idiot about it, because of course he is.
Of course.
And that leads to some really funny bits where he prioritizes things very differently when he shouldn't be. Yeah, so it's a really weird anime, but it's really funny.
Yeah,
I'm going to say that right now.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It's off the wall. Yeah, like it's a slice of life. It's interesting coming from Azumanga Daioh. Yeah, they're both slice of life, but
there's a reason I put these two back to back.
Yeah, they're both slice of life, but they're very different in execution.
To a degree, but at some time there's a thing as the thing goes around. I've seen it, which is Azumanga Daioh is proto Nichijou.
Yeah, I could see that a bit, but I think Nichijou takes it definitely to another level.
Oh yeah, that's the idea. Is basically Azumanga Daioh goes pretty far, but then Nichijou takes that and runs even further.
Yeah. There's just so many just off the wall things in this. It's great. It really is.
Mm-hmm. And another thing is was done by Kyoto Animation.
Oh.
And because of that, it's really well done.
Yeah.
The animation really elevates it to another level, because a lot of the jokes, and stuff work really well because the animation looks so good. So it just makes it somehow it just looks so good. It just makes it even better.
Yeah, and that is a really big factor with the jokes. I like you said, since a lot of the jokes are visual in nature, visual gags and whatnot. If that wasn't, it would have really hurt it. So it's really a good thing.
It was based on a manga, which at the time was still running.
Yeah, at the time. So there's a bunch of stuff in the manga that never made it into the anime.
Yep. Yeah, it was based on a manga, so that's the whole thing. But so it has also the weird Helvetica Standard thing, which was, I believe, another manga written by the same person.
Yeah, I think so.
Because of the animation, a lot of the stuff is just amazing. You got some, really elevates things to a certain point. Like, it's so funny, but now it's even funnier.
Yep. Like where would so many of those like it's not a suplex that she does on the goat, but the whole scene where wrestling the whole things, where would that be without the dramatic pauses and the faces and just all the animation
big
styled
sweeping motions and a lot of the laser blasts and stuff. Like,
Yep.
The most relatable thing is somehow, Yuko is about ready to go draw some manga, and she goes to use a mechanical pencil and punch out some lead and holding it wrong, so jab.
Yep.
And just screams, and somehow laser blast out of her mouth, and just fires off and destroys like 3 planets.
They had there was a couple similar scenes right next to that where they did some
with the dogs.
Yep.
And it's like somehow they captured that feeling perfectly.
Yep.
Because it's like, that's what it feels like. I don't know how you did it, but you did it.
Yep. It's so great.
Yeah, and then the dog thing was also, then you got, again, it's that thing, it's like they're bitten by the dogs and then laser blast, and you see, Hakase is clearly, being affected. I guess she's like seeing it and just shocked.
Yep.
By the way, they were Mai's dogs, so yeah, it's just... Mai didn't seem to understand that those dogs were mean.
Yeah, that's a thing. Was that a Vine?
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Get your dog.
Oh, they don't bite.
Yeah, so there's a lot of really weird, funny stuff in it, and it's just a lot of weird, sometimes random, just plot line will pop up in an episode, and then 3 episodes later, it'll pop up again.
Yep.
Like, there's just like the weird thing with the airship that Yuko keeps imagining.
And it's got to be just like Yuko's dream. Like the only thing I can think of is like she's falling asleep in class.
Yep.
And dreaming about this world and story based around
Mio.
Yeah, Mio, and primarily her wooden cubes.
Yeah. It's
it's just
weird,
but it's great.
And of course wakes up shouting, and then I'll just go in the hall.
Yep.
It's just capturing the awkwardness of trying to order coffee when there's like 3 language barriers at once, and you don't know coffee, and eventually,
yep. That's one of the most relatable ones there, because it's just walking into that unknown situation,
both sweating, just
yeah,
just give me this. I can't, because that doesn't exist.
Yep.
And then I gotta trick Mio into getting all awkward, and then Mio just
knows
right
exactly
through.
how to order it. That's one of the most relatable ones for me, I think, is that whole section. The awkwardness and uncomfortableness of being in a situation like that, where there's a protocol to go through, but you don't know what it is.
You don't know the protocol. Everyone else seems to, but you don't.
But you don't, and it's like, oh no. Yeah.
I don't know how to order coffee, and at this point, I'm afraid to ask.
Fortunately for me, I don't drink coffee, so I'm never in places like Starbucks trying to make those kind of orders. I've been to Starbucks a couple times, but it's never anything like that.
At least you're not ordering one of those, absurd drinks that is like 99% syrup. And costs a ton of money or not money, but it takes a lot of time, and the workers have to take literally like 15 minutes to make it and hold up the rest of the line, and it's a nightmare, and they hate it all because people are trying to. Oh look, I saw this on Instagram.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, it's they hate it because
Yeah.
it's like, look at this receipt. It's like there's like 20 items on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you get, of course, the principal suplexing a deer, or Mio trying to hide her drawings that she's ashamed of.
Oh, that whole thing. Yeah, because she got caught, sort of.
Or Mio and Yuko arguing this big, huge, long argument. And then finally they start complimenting each other. And it's like, what just happened?
Well, yeah, it's the whole that really, really big one over. It was lunch, if I remember correctly. It caused that one because Yuko got the wrong thing.
Yeah, because she misheard.
Yeah, misheard, and it was
Mio was so angry.
so angry, and Nano was there like, what the heck's going on?
Yeah,
and no one else
first,
cared.
Yeah, Nano started going to school halfway through the series because for a while she was just, a robot living at the house taking care of Hakase. And she wanted to go to school, and she got enrolled, and
Yep.
She's kind of freaking out because everyone's going to
Notice
see the key.
Yep.
And most of them didn't care, although she was really nervous and awkward and pretty much spilled the beans day one.
Yep.
And you got Yuko, who's like, is the only person who actually knows she's a robot.
Yep.
She picks it out, and Mio's like, don't be stupid.
Except Mai also knows, but
Mai
doesn't really
picked it
talk about it.
Mai just keeps quiet, but Mio's just like, don't be stupid.
Yep.
And then Yuko's like, doesn't matter who you are, you're Nano.
Yep.
And you're my friend.
Unintentionally said something very heartwarming.
Yep. But anyway, robots are cool.
Yep. Especially a robot that can, randomly pop out a gun out of your arm.
Yep.
Or
exactly.
a cake.
Cake or sweet rolls.
Sweet rolls out of your head. Hakase is an absolute genius.
And yet also a child.
But also still very much a child.
Yep. We'll do things like eat too many sweets till our stomach hurts.
Yeah.
Gets freaked out by the dark.
And dogs.
Yep. Sakamoto is like trying so hard to be like the voice of authority in that household because I'm the oldest technically because of that whole thing, and then it never works.
Yep.
It never works.
It never works. Gets distracted by like a butterfly or something. Tries so hard not to, but can't help himself.
Yeah. And of course the teacher who's trying to, capture Nano because she knows she's a robot.
Kana Nakamura, who was apparently the original owner of Sakamoto.
Yeah.
But Sakamoto was very happy to run away.
Yeah, because she was trying to take care of a cat, but very bad at it.
Yeah, she's not mean or bad to the cat, just kind of absent-minded and sort of unintentionally neglectful.
Yeah. The medium or whatever, the guy tries to the guy with the mohawk who that's how my hair grows.
Tsuyoshi, Nakanojo.
Yeah. He goes to see her and finds out she she's a fraud, and he tries to leave without paying, and she chases him down.
The media, she's that one, yeah. Oh, that's another one. That's a common thing throughout this is the running.
Yeah,
the characters who run.
Yeah, and of course, there's also Mio's crush on Sasahara.
Yeah, which kind of runs problems with Misato, the one with the guns.
Mm-hmm.
But also kind of
has a thing. Not kind of does.
Yeah.
And then
she won't admit it though.
Seems to come to a head when she's the one who has to takes his arm to guide him to class, even though.
Yep, and doesn't need to because the glasses are only there for looks.
And Mio at that point gives up.
Yeah. Even though Mio and Kojiro are kind of childhood friends, their families have known each other, and they went to what martial art are they in?
Thing with the wooden swords.
Yeah, Kendo.
Kendo, that's right.
It's Kendo.
That's what they're in, and also Mio's older sister is like a prodigy at that.
Yep,
but also just weird.
Mio's older sister is Yoshino. Yeah. Yeah, like so weird.
It's a weirdo.
It's just kind of out there. It doesn't really, I don't know. No thoughts, head empty, but sometimes not. She's hard to pin.
Yeah.
She
doesn't seem to even notice when someone's trying to talk to her earnestly, and she just doesn't even notice because she's off in her own world.
Isn't she also the one who noticed Nano's key and pulled it off randomly? I'm trying to remember right near the beginning on the street.
Possibly, I think so.
And that was when Nano realized that it does come off.
She just can't. Only her.
Yep.
Some of the weird coincidences between this and Azumanga, like both of them have a child prodigy genius, and whatnot. Both of them kind of dip their toes into weirdness, and also cats are a big part of both of them.
Yep. Slightly different manner, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's just funny. There's a couple of weird little things in common with them. The other thing which is interesting about this, I remember I looked this up, and apparently the anime initially wasn't actually that popular.
Really?
Yeah, that's my understanding of things. I might have gotten bad information on this, but my understanding is initially it just didn't do so well. It was 26 episode run, just didn't do super well, but then it later re-edited down to a 12 episode series, and that's where things started to pick up. And then for example, like it aired in 2011, it didn't come out in the US on any sort of media until 2017. Well, that was partially because of licensing weirdness. It was licensed by Bandai Entertainment, and then they canceled it because they're downsizing.
Right.
It took a while to start showing up in the U.S. and stuff, and then it was one of those things where word of mouth got around and people started watching, and then you got stuff like people pleading with Crunchyroll to bring it back to their service because they had it, and then Funimation got it, and then they got it back, and then they lost it again because Funimation was bought by Sony,
and now Funimation bought Crunchyroll, so
it's all going to come back together. And then Funimation, the initial release with which one I have, did not even have English dubs, which is unusual for Funimation considering what they do.
Yeah.
But they released it with a new English dub in 2019.
So it's a bit of a late bloomer.
Yeah, initially it was kind of a cult hit until and even got some criticism. People are like, some people are just like, it's not that funny.
It was hilarious.
Yeah,
but it is definitely like specific kinds of humor.
Yeah, so it kind of took a while to really find its get an audience, and particularly in the West, and instead of, but yeah, it's just took a while, but started blowing up.
Yep.
And which was weird when you think about it. It's like it should have been like a big deal considering it's a slice of life about high school girls. So, and then it's also killed animation. This should have been a slam dunk.
Yep.
And somehow it just wasn't
until it was.
Yeah, it took a while. It just took a long time for it to catch on, and even now it's still kind of a somewhat I don't want to say lesser, but less popular than a lot of other anime.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things where it's just like it's one of those things where someone will say you need to watch Nichijou. What's Nichijou? Just watch it.
Just go watch it. It's great.
That's one of those.
Watch a little girl wrestle a goat. Just drop a goat just to keep her manga from getting seen.
Yeah.
Didn't keep Yuko from seeing it though.
Nope. Yuko knows.
Well, watch this little high schooler just drop a policeman.
Oh yeah, good for her.
Good for her. Comrade Miho.
Yeah, there's just a lot of very fast-paced dialogue and stuff, which some of the translation I'm not sure about, but yeah, it's apparently some of it's a little, but at least Funimation says it. But yeah, it's still really funny. It's just there's a lot, and there's a lot of great visuals. The soundtrack, of course, is great. Got really good OPs as well.
And all of the EDs.
Yeah, the season one, not season 2, but the second half goes. The HED is different.
Yep,
it's the same visuals, but a different song every single time.
Yep. There's so many characters.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. I mean,
there's a lot more in the manga.
One-offs as well.
Yep.
They appear once or twice and then never again.
Yep.
Or there was a kid, for example, who flew an SR-71 to school and parked it on the roof somehow.
Yeah.
The one in the Go Soccer Club.
Yeah.
Which he just made up, and turns out no, it's a real thing somehow.
Oh, I've got to figure that out now. Because that's connected to it's connected to Makoto Sakurai, which is the guidance counselor's younger brother.
Kenzaburo Daiku.
Yeah, that's Daiku as the leader of that one. But no,
Makoto Sakurai.
Yeah, well, I get that one.
Yeah, apparently somehow he's a big deal for the Go Soccer. He found the club and he's like, "Oh, Go Soccer," and he's like, "What? What do you mean? I made this up. What? It's real?" Yeah, it's a lot of weird stuff, and it's you are caught off guard a lot.
If you go in with any sort of like certain expectations, you're gonna get them squashed because that's like what it attempts to do. Is to avoid those kind of things. It just throws random stuff at you. but not in a way that doesn't make sense. It's hard to pin in that case. Yeah. It's just really off the wall and hilarious.
Surreal.
Yeah, surreal is a pretty good way of putting it.
Yeah, and another thing, apparently it has a PlayStation Portable game.
Right.
It's a weird visual novel thing. What I see about it. The player takes the role of producer from Galaxy TV running the television series Nichijou, whose objective is to keep the ratings high by correcting, deciding on what unusual situation to insert in the show. All right. Yeah, PSP, so you know.
the Sony handheld that people actually cared about.
Yeah, somewhat.
Not the Vita, because apparently no one cares about the Vita.
Well, there's the thing. PSP, no one really cared about the PSP, but even less people cared about the Vita. Vita means life. This is a fantastic anime, and the thing is, it's hard to talk about without, again, we kind of were getting into a lot of specifics here and there, but yeah, it's hard to talk about without getting into this. I don't want to spoil the whole thing if you haven't seen it, but it's one of those, you absolutely should watch it when you can.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally.
I think it's a must watch for anybody. It's just really good.
It's really good. It's hard to describe, but it's a lot of fun. The pacing, I guess I want to say, there was one thing I noticed with the pacing. There was a lot of times where I felt like we had watched like a whole lot and realized that, oh wait, we haven't. It's one of those, it feels longer than it is, but not in a bad way.
You said the same thing about Azumangadai.
Yeah, it did similar things here. Yeah.
One day I need to actually go look at the manga at some point too.
Yeah, probably.
I have not done that yet, but yeah, it's a fun time. Highly recommend it. It looks good. It's just fun.
It is.
And
it's a lot of fun.
It's well worth checking out if you haven't. And if you have already checked it out, watch it again. It's worth watching again.
Just watch it again. And the characters are all great.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
all unique characters.
Yeah, that's the other thing was we talked about this shipping for the Azumangadai. This doesn't have shipping really enough.
Yeah.
I checked out fandom stuff and like there is some, but it's really a small amount of the fan output. Most of it is just people just making more silly situations.
Yeah, I wonder why.
I don't know. It's never caught on.
Yeah.
Probably because with Azumangadai, there's that clear stuff where like, okay, this character's clearly into this character type stuff.
Yeah, and there's not a huge amount of moments like that.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of dorks.
Yeah, a bunch of dorks, which I mean sometimes can be enough, but
I mean, there's that one moment between Mai and Yuko, but then Mai's like, I was joking.
Yeah.
But the thing about Mai is you never know if she's actually joking or not.
Yeah, that's the thing with Mai is you can never tell. She's just constantly a blank face.
On top of that, the weird thing is also those who looked at about curiosity, there's also not a lot of, like, for example, fan fiction.
Huh.
It's really just not. I think there's like some in the neighborhood of like, or at least between Archive of Our Own and fan fiction on that, accounting for duplicates, there's about like 60 or 70 total.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder
Versus
why.
there's quite a bit of art, though.
Yeah, I think it might because, the manga's a lot longer. There's a lot more there. And I think I want to say it's more because Nichijou is very visual in its jokes. So it lends itself better to artwork and manga in that case, and that where fan fiction is a little bit different.
Yeah.
You can do comics and art for short form visual jokes a lot better than fan fiction.
Yeah.
So that might be why. I don't know.
Though they'd find a lot of people had canon Yuko as having ADHD.
Yeah, I could totally see it. I could totally see Yuko being ADHD.
Yeah. So, I guess that's more or less it. I'm trying to grasp at straws.
Because of how hard it is to pin down.
Yeah, it's actually pretty easy to pin down. That's the problem.
Okay.
It's easy
right,
to
but
pin.
it's hard to give details and go into depth on.
There's not a lot to do.
Because there isn't a huge amount of depth. It really is all right there on the surface.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the most depth I could say is probably like the heartwarming growth between Nano and Hakase.
Yeah.
The character growth there.
Mm.
But other than that, it's yeah, there isn't a huge amount of depth to it.
So that's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you could check out other episodes at newtoweeaboo.libsyn.com. If you want to, look there, you could subscribe to the RSS feed there. There's also the buttons at the top, which will lead you to other ways to subscribe, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. And there's also Amazon Podcasts as well. So if you want to subscribe to any of those ways, you can do so and check out, keep up to date as we go through a bunch of weird anime and whatnot. You can also contact us via email, newtoweeaboo@gmail.com. Questions, comments, criticisms. What'd you think of Nichijou? Do you not like it because you're dead inside?
Wow.
Do you have anime recommendations for us? Because, we'll happily take those, and at least we'll take a look at them, and, there's certain stuff we won't touch. Or sometimes it doesn't look very interesting to us.
Doesn't matter how many times you recommend it, we are not going to be reviewing Boku no Pico.
Or will we?
No, we will not.
So there's that, and of course there's our Twitter at newtoweeaboo. You can follow us there and see new episodes that come out and whatnot. And there's our personal Twitters. I'm in Nemesis Prime 1, and he's at Alcatraz _ at the end and 77T. And that's it. Join us next time. We'll be talking about I guess it's a classic, Death Note.
Oh boy.
Talking about the big one. You mean you haven't seen Death Note?
No, I have not seen Death Note.
Yeah, so it's a big one we're going to go ahead and talk about because October. And I think it kind of somewhat falls into that, but not hugely.
Not quite, but
I don't know. I haven't watched it. I just know some things about it. I just haven't watched it yet. It's one of those that's always been on the list of things to watch that I haven't got quite around to.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see you then, and take care of yourselves, and bye.
Bye.